Alright, I am now officially live, you guys. Is Piticus back yet?
I've returned.
I'm also here.
Yay. Alright, so, welcome everyone to the first and hopefully, hi Dream Bean, the first and hopefully a epic adventure, with a group of my VTuber friends. Would you two like to introduce yourself?
Any of us? You first, Piticus.
Well, my name is Piticus. I am Fox. Bad at introducing myself apparently, because I don't know what I'm going to say here.
You have no lore?
I mean, just kind of was beta testing a VR system, and I got trapped inside of it, and now I am here, stuck like this forever. And that is, I lost it. I'm put me on the spot, man. I can't speak like that.
Okay, so you're good at role-playing, but not good at improv, I see. And for the lovely Goth GF.
I am basically Grimm's sister.
V-sister?
Huh?
V-sister.
Yes. I am an addict to anime and video games.
And apparently your underwear is purple.
Especially... What?
Apparently your underwear is also purple.
Are you judging my way of
No,
a specific color?
just pointing out some interesting facts about your lore.
I don't think that's important for my lore.
I don't know, it's kind of important. Anyways, awkward silence aside, welcome. So this is going to be session 0 of our Eclipse phase adventure. Eclipse phase being one of, if not my absolute favorite tabletop RPGs. I haven't even given you 2 sheets yet. In fact,
We have a black screen. A black screen. That is what we have.
Oh yeah, we do.
Alright. Well, here is Ena's and Piticus. I'm working on yours right now. So, we were going to be joined by 2 others, however, they are indisposed, as of, not too long ago.
Sadly.
Very tragically, yes.
It is called VTuber. I'm sorry, I forgot to mute there. My bad. Apologies.
Okay.
Yes, we were supposed to have 2 others. We know one of them is indisposed, but it's radio silence on the other one, isn't it?
If you want to say it so bluntly and throw them under the bus like that, sure.
That's not throwing them under the bus. It just means that they may have forgotten or got busy with something and were unable to tell, or maybe their internet went out.
That's possible. They might have also died, which is like, why can't you just leave why can't you just leave it vague, dude?
I mean, radio silence is vague. I didn't say they went. I didn't say they like just.
I mean,
staying, so.
Whatever.
Sorry, in my mind that's very vague.
I don't know. That means that they're not responding, which kind of narrows it down a little. Anyways, fuck it. This is already turning into a dumpster fire. Let's just start this.
It's cursed. Fine.
All right. So I did want to like.
This is so cool.
I'm sure it is. Although I've been using Roll20 for years now, so this doesn't feel that cool to me.
Oh no, I meant the Eclipse phase. I meant the Eclipse phase. Character sheet. This is my first time doing Eclipse phase.
Yeah, like I said,
It's very different.
It's very underwhelming to me because I've been doing this for years. Okay, so I'll just try and set the scene for you guys here quickly. Especially since I don't think anyone other than Piticus, I mean, has ever like dug deep into the game's fluff, right? Alright, so I'm going to start this off with a message that's in the first edition book, and I think it really does a good job setting the scene for what's coming. Okay, so, incoming message received. Source, unknown. Quantum analysis, no interception detected. Decryption complete. Sit down and grab yourself a fucking drink. For all the AI-generated intro crap you just read, here's the real deal. You're probably dying to know what you've been dragged into. Maybe you've been told the party line already that that stands between transhumanity and extinction. Or maybe someone whispered to you that we're a rogue operation that meddles in heavy shit that we should have no authority to get involved in, and that we sometimes get people killed as a result. You must also be curious. Maybe you've got a vigilante streak and you're looking to spill some blood for a good cause. Would it matter to you if the cause was a diluted one? Maybe you're a conspiracy wingnut and you're dying to know what secrets Firewall is clutching to its secretive chest. What if those secrets shatter the carefully constructed lies that we have all told ourselves to keep our sanity intact? Everything you've heard, good, bad, about Firewall, very well may be true. We're not angels. We've lost the sheen of our ideals when the Titans forcibly upload their first human minds. Right now, you should be asking yourself what the fuck you just signed up for. I did. Truth is, Firewall is lots of things. Most of it's good, but a lot of it is fucking horrible, and you'll be thinking about planting a bullet in your stack and restoring to an earlier backup just so you can forget it all. If you have any romantic visions of being a hero, drop them now. You won't feel like a hero when you airlock some kid because he's carrying an infectious nanovirus. You won't feel brave when you run across some alien thing and crap your pants. And you won't even feel human anymore when you make a call that will cost dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of people their lives. Even if you are saving millions more. Why would anyone be crazy enough to be a part of this thing? Because it needs to be done. Our survival depends on it. If some people to some people, it's altruism. Defending transhumanity. But in reality, it's about saving your own fucking neck too. Sure, you could abstain from taking responsibility and let some self-described authority take care of it. But if the anarchists have anything right, it's that people in power can't be trusted. As often as not, they're part of the problem. So Firewall does things the collective way. We're underground. We're an open source operation. We share information and resources towards a common goal. We organize in networked ad hoc cells, smart mob style. We don't let anyone accrue too much power or control. Everyone involved in an op has an equal say. We police ourselves. We come from all sorts of backgrounds and factions, but we face a common enemy and we fight to win. There is no alternative. Maybe you've heard of the Fermi paradox. That question asks why, with such a huge galaxy, there were so few signs of other life. Even though we've met the factors and seen evidence of other aliens, our galactic neighborhood should be crawling with intelligence, but it's not. Oh, Akira's here. I'll tell you why. The universe is not fucking fair. If transhumanity were wiped out, the galaxy wouldn't even notice. Just look at the Earth. The planets still exist, still support life, even though we're far gone. Reality is an uncaring asshole. Forget all the utopian crap about living forever. We'll be lucky if we survive another year. We've developed technologies that put weapons of mass destruction in the hands of everyone, but we're still in an adolescent species state that has trouble overcoming petty tribal bullshit. If you're really looking forward to exploring the universe as a post-mortal, you're going to have to work hard for it. Survival isn't a right, it's a privilege. I'm almost done here, by the way. When you sign up with Firewall, you put yourself on call. Anytime some shit goes down in your neck of the woods, or that you might be particularly helpful in dealing with, you'll get a call. You'll be expected to drop whatever you're doing and put everything else on hold as if your life depended on it. It probably does. When you've in the field on an op, going to the doctor as we call it, your cell is empowered to act as it sees fit. Just keep in mind that you'll be answering to the rest of us later. You'll also have the Firewall network to back you up. The resources are often limited, so don't expect us to always save your ass. Other Sentinels can be called to pull strings, but every time we do, it threatens to unravel the agency. Create a trail we need to clean up, or otherwise complicate matters. Self-reliance is key. One last thing. Don't ever forget that we have enemies. I'm not just talking about the nutjobs who want to nuke habitats to make political statements, or the neo-Luddites who think BioWare plagues will teach us a lesson. I'm talking about the agencies that know Firewall exists and consider it a threat. If they tag you as a Sentinel, your days are numbered. Maybe your backups too. So watch your friggin' back. So that's the deal. As honest as I can give it. Welcome to our secret clubhouse, comrade. Remember, death is just another day at the job. Message ends. This message has self-erased. And that is your introduction.
Ah, shit, I guess we're not going to be able to hear that again.
That's the point. So, just in canonical terms, that was given to you by your router. You don't know a lot about your router. All you know is that they identify themselves as male, and that they go by the pseudonym Krakengard. That's literally it. But he's your contact here on Europa.
Okay.
Do you want me to explain a little bit more about what a router is, since I doubt any of you know?
You're good, yeah.
So, as the message said, Firewall is decentralized, and it works on like an ad hoc, individual cell basis. So, you two are part of a cell. And so there's two levels to Firewall. There's the Sentinels, which are you, and then there's the people above who actually work in Firewall full-time. These people are highly trusted, and they are referred to as proxies. So, Krakengard is your proxy. Specifically, he's a type of proxy who directly deals with orchestrating cells and their plans. So he's your handler, so to speak.
Okay.
But like I said, you really don't know much about him, and that was, of course, something that had to be sent to you through, like, a VPN. So it's very covert. Everything you're doing is covert. Likewise, everything you're doing is probably illegal. At least in some jurisdiction. So yeah, Firewall, as I've mentioned before, like way before, before even the stream, is like a neighborhood watch. You're all civilians, but you're all volunteering for this. So with that said, we might as well start with character creation and see where we go from there. So let's walk everyone through. Piticus has already made like several pre-made characters, but we'll just go through step by step with Ena.
Yes, please. I don't know how to make the character, even though I already have a bit of an idea of what I want it to be.
Alright, so let's start with part 1, selecting a background. So this is what you did before joining Firewall, or more specifically, kind of the way you grew up.
So we just draw a shape.
Hold on, let me see if I can find a list. So, the backgrounds are Colonist, Enclaver, Freelancer, Hyper Elite, Indenture. By the way, these are all on page 38 in the book. So yeah, Hyper Elite, Indenture, Infolife, Isolate, Lost, Underclass, Uplift. Now, Ena, you said you wanted to be an octopus, right?
Yes.
Well, in that case, you might want to consider choosing the Uplift background, because that means that you quite literally are an uplifted Neo-Octopus.
Definitely not because of all the loot stuff that I could do. I mean,
Of course.
Jesus.
Of course. Don't let
know
Ena's innocent exterior fool you. She is rotten to the core and depraved as all hell.
Didn't even know what DSLs were.
Again, do not let that fool you.
Oi, I might look innocent, I know, but mentally I am completely rotten.
Right you are. Now let's take a look at your sheet for a second. So you can see the area where it says background, right? By the way, if you want, you can check my stream, because I'm looking at your sheet right now.
Wait, how do you get that though?
Click on journal.
Yes, journal.
In the top right.
Top right, you see the bar of things.
Oh, okay.
And you can see your name on the sheet, Ena. So you open that, and then you go on the sheet to the tab that says character sheet, and suddenly you see all these different things you need to fill out. Are you getting that far?
Yeah. The faction was that I needed.
Don't worry about the
Enough.
faction. Let's start with background. Also, we can discuss character name as well. Also, it's worth knowing that we do kind of need to discuss gender identity. While such things might be just flavor in certain RPGs, this is quite literally a game where you can sleeve into any body, be it male, female, or some combination of the two. So that actually does affect things when it comes to body dysmorphia and how well you feel like you.
Yes.
Yeah, so in other words, it will feel weird if like different hormones are going through your body and you feel phantom appendages, and it can actually affect stats. Now, considering that you're an uplift, a neo-octopus to be exact, that means that sleeping into a human body will feel very alien to you.
Oh, I can actually understand that.
What's worse, what if it's, well, depending on the gender identity of your character, what if it doesn't match either? Like I said, it's weird like that. So anyways, do you see the space that says background?
Yeah.
So you said you were going to choose uplift, correct?
Yeah, uplift.
Alright, so
Which
just
is,
type that in there. Alright. So, uplifts do have specific, so each background has its own set of skills. However, that's boring stuff that you can choose later. But anyways. So now we move on to step 2, which is your career. What do you do for a living? So, what kind of character is yours, Ena?
I really want to go for the scavenger.
Scavenger? Alright.
Yes.
I could see that. You spend your time around the rings of Jupiter, cleaning up shit.
Damn, so that's how you see me.
Well, I mean, by shit, I mean, like...
You are.
By shit, I mean, like, the results of maybe, pirate operations gone wrong. Like, ship salvaging, or salvaging the wreck of habitats.
Ah, alright. I can see that.
Like, I guess that means that a typical day at the job for you involves monitoring your oxygen tank floating through 0G with the only light being from your flashlight as you put scraper gel on the surface of a door and just ignite it to burn a hole through it.
Oh wait, I put scavenger on the faction. It's supposed to be on the career.
Yes. Actually,
And gender, and gender identity. I guess I want to be. I'll be both.
both, like, hermaphroditic.
Yes.
Okay,
But I just put that hermaphrodite.
I guess.
What comes next?
By the way, Scavenger, I'm just quickly looking through it. One of the skills you get is hardware demolitions. So, you're good with explosives. Like wiring them, making them.
Oh hell yes! It makes me remember of Junkrat from Overwatch. Just blowing things up.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you could, like, make a roll to create maybe chlorine trifluoride, which is the world's most powerful oxidizer. Or... By the way, there's liquid thermite in this game.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep. Anyways. So that's your career. Next is step 3, interests. I'm assuming you're browsing through those right now. Now, if you want, you could also choose a sync as an interest, which basically means you're infected with the Watts-McLeod virus and you have psychic powers.
I'll be survivalist.
Alright, survivalist it is. So that's going by pretty fast. Let me know when you're done filling all that in.
Oh, there's stuff such as actual age. Does it really matter how old? Does it really matter how old I would be?
It's mainly for fluff, but well, as an uplift, you are probably going to be well, the oldest uplift is 20 years old right now.
Goddamn.
Yeah. But even then, they were, those were like the ones that were very close to humans, like chimps. So I'd imagine you'd be maybe at oldest 15. Keep in mind, though, that your actual age is just about chronology. You have always been an adult.
So I could actually just, every time my body dies, I could just get into a new body.
That's expected.
So yeah, then actual age, I could be, I don't know, more than 100.
Well, if you're an uplift, you're definitely not.
I think what he's saying is the oldest uplift in existence is 20, but they're always an adult. Is that correct?
When you are created as an uplift, it's more like you just... It's like you suddenly start understanding things, and you become like... You're just born an adult when you're uplifted. There is no childhood for uplifts.
And then your age starts from when you register as an uplift. Is that basically it? Is like when
Yes.
you have. Sorry,
Yes.
gain
So
the
it's not
ability.
really when you were born, but more when you were uplifted is when the age is counted.
But the thing is, can't uplifts also transfer their consciousness to other bodies?
Yes, but uplifts
Yeah,
have only been a thing for 20 years.
I believe the background that it shows for uplifts on here is you are the latest generation of these creatures that have been raised to human levels of intelligence. So in those last 20 years, you are in that generation.
Like I said, I would spitball you're in the range of 10 to 15 years old.
Alright, then I'll put myself on 15.
But don't worry, you are still legal.
Yeah, you're 15 years of being uplifted, so you could be like 1,015. However,
I mean, an
old,
octopus has a lifespan of 2 years.
Oh shit!
Hey, man, I don't fucking know.
God damn it! I'm not gonna last long.
I mean, a neo-octopus probably has an extended age. Keep in mind that they've pretty much halted aging. But again, you're not that old.
Then just put me on 15. I don't know.
15 it is then. Alright, so now we have to get to factions, which is probably the most, like, easily to skip over part.
I didn't touch that yet, because I have no clue what the fuck it's about. I wanted you to explain.
Yeah, good question. I mean, I guess it's if you want to have arguments within the party based on ideology. I really don't see any other reason to have it.
Factions are the ones that are actioneer, extrovert, and stuff.
No, those are
those are aptitudes.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait. Yeah, I see him.
So those are things like anarchists, argonauts, Barsoomians, brinkers. By the sounds of your character, you might be a brinker. But like I say, you could also be mercurial, which is you oppose the assimilation of oppressive AGIs and uplifts, supporting determination for your kind. So in other words, by joining that faction, you fight for uplift rights and your own self-determination.
I've decided out of the 3 templates what I'm going.
But what about criminal?
Yeah, you could be criminal.
Yes.
I guess that means that you're just someone who sort of roams around the Outer Rim, you know? You've probably spent time around the rings of Saturn. You've probably spent time on a scum barge. You've probably had to run through a gauntlet through the Jovian defenses to get to the inner system in a big smuggling vessel.
Most likely.
Alright, so that's written down.
It is.
Now we move on to step 5, aptitude templates.
Wait,
So,
what about the rest point and RP spends?
res points and... So,
Yes.
res points are XP, which you won't get yet.
Oh.
That's like something you get
Oh, and
after...
RP would be res points spent. Okay. Wait, I cut you off. My bad.
Yeah. So, don't worry about RP. You get that from in-game stuff, like completing missions, good role-playing, being epic. You even get res points for failing and dying, because, you know, you learn something.
I see.
So, the aptitude templates are below. Would you like me to explain what the aptitudes are?
Oh, you want me to explain it?
Do you want me to explain it?
Oh, sure.
So, cog is cognition. That's dealing with logic and memory skills. That is the skill you would use for knowledge checks most of the time. It's what you would be using for hardware tests as well as programming tests and hacking. Int is intuition, which is your gut feeling. It allows you to read people and read situations. So it would be using when you're researching subjects, when you're trying to guess if people are lying, when you're trying to examine a crime scene and understand what might have been the motives. It's also used for initiative. Ref is reflex, which is the dexterity stat. Pretty much anything you use dexterity for in D&D is reflex. Likewise, it also influences your initiative. Sav is savvy, which is charisma. Not much to explain there. Somatics, somatic is sort of like the strength or constitution. It is your ability to capitalize on your morph's physical capabilities. So it accounts for your endurance, your pain threshold, your strength, your acrobatics. All that stuff is somatics. And finally, there's willpower, which do I really need to explain?
If you want.
Well,
I don't think it is.
aside from being a psychic, willpower isn't used that much outside of trauma. Because in a game where you can survive death, hit points aren't that bad, but stress points, you know, mental health, that's a big issue. So, willpower allows you to see a rotting carcass and breathe in the fumes and not throw up. So I think...
see. So it's all basically psychological.
Yeah. If you want to get out of this without trauma, you're going to want high will. Anyways, so there are different stats here. Ironically enough, one of them is called Survivor. You might want to use that if that's what you're going for.
Yeah, the Survivor.
Alright. By the way, you can rearrange these points as much as you want as long as they add up to the same total. The highest is 30. You can't put any more than 30 points to a stat. And the lowest is 5. So feel free to play around with that. All right.
Let me just give me a moment. I'm guessing 20 is a pretty high number for.
The transhuman average is 15.
Oh,
Uh,
How do you know where your skills fall in? Like, whether they're like ref reflex using or savvy using or something like that.
each of the skills in game, literally says right next to them, what they use. So athletics uses somatics. But fray, which is dodging, uses reflex. Likewise, free falling
Okay.
uses somatics, guns uses reflex, hardware uses cognition. Infiltrate, which is
Okay.
sneaking, that's reflex. Now,
I see.
step 6, totaling up your skills. So this is going to be the boring part, where you have to now look at the background, the career, and the interest you chose, and you have to look through what points they give you, and then put those in individually. Now, there is something else that should be noted, and that is there are special types of skills called field skills, and I know you have at least one. So a field skill is... the skill itself is a very broad term, but it needs to be specified. So let's say hardware, for example. Hardware is a skill, but it's a field skill, which means what kind of hardware are you good at? Building, repairing, disabling, upgrading, physical hacking, technological systems, robotics, demolition. You have to specify. Likewise, medicine is also a field skill. Because, you know, it could be psychology as a medical profession, forensics, pharmacology, surgery, veterinary, emergency care, you get the idea. In fact, page 45 tells you what skills are, or it gives you summaries of all the skills and tells you which ones are field skills. So, you add the total together.
adding the total together.
So yeah, like, in your background, what are the skills for your background?
Well, for
Page...
the active skills, there's athletics and deceive, and exotic skill.
Athletics... Oh, sorry. So for your background, uplift.
Oh, background. Yeah, it is uplift.
Yep, so what does it say under that?
Under uplift?
Yes, on page 39.
Oh. 40.
So that's for athletics, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so you write that down, then fray... if you don't know what any of these stats mean, I can explain them, like kinesics. I don't think you understand that word, do you?
A dumb question. Not really dumb question, but dumb question. For the no sections of these careers or the classes, that goes under the no segment of our character sheet, correct?
Correct. Knowledge
Okay.
skills are very specific and different, and usually underutilized. Which is why they had to create a whole separate section for them, because everyone who played first edition kept putting points into active skills and making relatively OP characters.
I see.
Wait. What am I, I'm not really sure. What am I actually supposed to do here? Because I know athletics is 40, but what am I supposed to do with that?
So, I just did it for you. I typed in ranks 40. So the
Oh,
total is, yeah.
Shit. I broke everything. There we go. Fix it.
So,
No worries.
much like with D&D, it's your aptitude plus your skill. So your somatics is 20 plus 40, so a total of 60, which is fairly decent.
oh, so and then a fray will be 20.
Frey is a little special. Uh, Actually, I think it's already calculated, so never mind. Yeah, put 20 in.
Okay. And there's kinesis.
Do you know what that is? I doubt it. I didn't know what kinesics meant.
It sounds a lot like some. It sounds like a lot like psychic powers.
Not really, although arguably it is. Basically, it's your ability to read body language and tell if someone's lying.
Oh. Oh, that's 30.
This part's getting kind of boring. So while you're doing that, why don't we transition to Piticus? What are you doing with your character?
Oh boy. So, we are a male colonist background with the covert operative career and interest in commander.
Commander?
We have, yes.
What does that give you? I actually don't know. I
No.
don't think anyone's ever used that background.
It's commander is an interest, not a background.
Hmm.
It's
Interest, persuade, provoke,
or a custom.
administration.
Yes, sir. And you'll never guess what I have a lot of.
Interface?
Administration.
Does no administration come from something else?
From colonist.
Hmm.
I rolled and I got everything here. So like if there was a choice of 4 things, I rolled a d4. If there was a choice of 3 things, I rolled a d3. And yeah, so I have 105 administration.
So this
Cut to the
is
chase,
something I do.
without ego upgraded.
There is something I do want to explain to you, and I was gonna go through this when Ena was done, but we'll just go through it now. So if the total, not the amount of skill points you have, but the total sum of skill plus aptitude is greater than 80, you have to cut off those skill points and put them somewhere else.
Oh, really? So I get 20 points for somewhere else so far. Okay.
Yes, you put them anywhere you want.
Well,
Actually, if
I
it
haven't.
actually wait, if it's a knowledge skill and you have to put in another knowledge skill.
Okay. So I have to put in another knowledge skill. Can do. Actually, I get 25 points. I should probably choose my aptitudes first, actually, before I continue with this.
Actually, yes, you should.
Even though the aptitude template comes after the skill, so you know where everything goes, I'll choose the aptitudes first.
I
Yeah,
mean, the
so-
idea is that you manage the totals afterwards, like once you realize you have over 100.
So, like, my brain, my headcanon, when I saw that this was a colonist covert operative, is like, he was sent to this colony to fucking, like, keep an eye on shit or some weird jank like that, you know?
So I'm
That was
maybe you were part of, like, maybe you're hired by Hypercorp. like-
that's what I was thinking.
Maybe go undercover and do corporate espionage.
Just the template that I'm trying to figure out, like, what I would Look, but I think it would just be the 15, 15, 15. Like, let's be real here. Kind of all over the place.
If you want.
And what am I supposed to do with no skills?
So, do you
Knowledge
see at the
skill.
very top, there's a section for knowledge skills, and there's an add button. So, if you need more, you just click the add button and it brings down another row.
So you're saying that is the max, right, for your totals?
At least at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, this game uses percentile dice, so 80 means you have an 80% chance of succeeding. So, like, if it's at 99, it's literally you need to roll double nines in order to fail. So you can understand
Okay.
why they cap it at 80.
Yeah.
Any particular reason why you moved to the gear tab?
Wait, who?
I'm
Huh?
looking at your sheet, and it updates in real time. You still need help figuring out knowledge skills?
I really do.
Alright, let me just scroll back up to uplift. Or wait, are you in one of the other sections now for skills? Okay, so for no, what field do you want? Commons include uplift culture and uplift rates.
Right, I can do math.
Anna?
Yes, I know. I'm trying to choose here.
You can always go back in your decision later.
Guess I'll go for geology. Because I am a scavenger, I do try to find precious.
Geology? Sure.
Yeah. So I just put geology on specialization.
Sure. That's not
Okay.
technically what it's meant for, but the sheet has its limitations, so who cares? So, and that's going to be 60, right?
Is it 60?
Well, you have two knowledge skills from being an uplift. One is at 60 and one is at 30.
It's 30, 20, so it's 50.
Well, then what do I put on the ranks? Do I?
Do you want this to be 60 or 30?
Oh, then just 30.
Alright, so now, it's time for you to pick your second knowledge skill. Remember, the uplift thing has examples like genetics, sociology, zoology, uplift culture, uplift rates. Let's transition over to Piticus's sheet.
I'll go for archaeology.
About what?
Archaeology.
Possible, but I don't see how that's going to be useful unless you're part of a gate crashing team. So, here's an idea. You're going to be salvaging ships a lot, right? That's what you do? So,
Or engineering.
what if it's some knowledge of ship models?
Revolve 4.
How's that sound?
I'll take that then.
Yeah, like, you could probably identify a ship based on its silhouette. You probably know what parts of it are dangerous, where the best loot can be salvaged.
Exactly.
You probably have a mental map of ventilation systems in your head. Anyways, so now that's done, that's all the skills for uplift, correct? So let's go down to... Oh, what'd you say your career was? Scavenger?
Yeah, it was scavenger.
Alright. So...
But then the second skill of knowledge.
Hmm?
Okay.
In the second one, you would probably put 60.
No, I meant the name. If I
Oh.
still stay with archaeology or do I
Uh,
choose something else?
Like I said, I don't think you're gonna find archaeology being very useful. Honestly,
Then what about engineering?
I don't know how that would be used. That'd be very specific. Like I said, ship models is pretty useful for you, I would say. Or maybe smuggling routes.
Oh, and that one's on professional training, right?
Which one?
The one you said.
I guess. It's all just semantics. Like, it's all just fruity words. It really doesn't mean anything. It's a knowledge skill, and that's all you need to understand.
Alright then. Alright, so on gear.
Not yet. You still have your career and interests still gives you skills. So now we need to go down to Scavenger. Page 41.
Okay.
So you have two different hardware fields. One of which is, by default, demolitions.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And that's at level 40. The other you can choose, and it gives you examples. Common fields are electronics, industrial, and robotics.
Oh, mine was the hardware was demolitions, right?
That's one of them, yes, and it's at 40.
Okay.
Hey, Grim, when does it say anywhere like when the initial colonists left Earth?
There probably is a timeline of events. I'll have to check the first ed core book.
Okay. Don't worry about it right now. I can leave the age blank at the moment. Trying to think of a name. This is fun.
First, maybe start with the language you can speak, because that's also interesting. And it could also be a good example of this.
Oh, what language can I speak?
I think by default, all characters can speak 2 languages. That's a separate step in character creation, though, so don't worry about it. It's
Oh.
also not a skill.
And on pilots, pilot, I can choose any of them, right?
Pilot?
Yeah.
So that's like what kind of vehicles you can drive. So there's groundcraft, aerospace, and nautical, which, considering we're on Europa, could be useful.
I guess I could go for ground.
I think considering your, at least your profession, aerospace, because, you know, flying in ships, and nautical, because, well, we're on Europa. That said, Europa...
Would we put languages?
Don't worry about that. We'll handle it step by
Oh
step.
no, wait, yeah, you're right. I was mixing Titan with Europa.
Yeah, no, this isn't Titan, it's Europa. I mean, there is a surface to Europa, but it's also bathed in radiation from Jupiter's magnetosphere.
Guess I'll go for air.
So, initial expansion in Eclipse phase is considered 60 plus years before fall, Piticus, or Piticus.
Just call me Pitman.
Pitman.
No, just Pit. And sorry, it was 60 years since the fall?
No, 60 plus years before fall. It's 10 years after fall, and I think the fall was 2 years-ish.
Okay.
So I guess you could just consider yourself 60 years at most. If you want to be that old. Keep in mind that biological age doesn't matter anymore. Everyone's youthful. The only
Exactly, everyone's youthful.
Yes, the only people who are ever in aging bodies usually do so as sort of like a way to command respect, you know, as sort of like an image thing. You know, you look elder, so you look smarter or something.
Yeet.
Fashion in Eclipse phase has gotten weird.
Really?
Yes, especially with the body mod scene. You can have tattoos that are made out of nanomachines that move. So you can have an animated GIF on your body.
No, that's actually cool.
Yes, and it could also be like glow in the dark or like light up in whatever colors you program into it. People have cat ears and cat tails.
I'll put on cat ears as an octopus.
Cat ear octopus. So like a Dumbo octopus, kind of.
Probably.
Dumbo octopus. Anyways, are you done with the skills from your career?
I'm still stuck on the pilot one.
You want me to just tell you?
Yes.
Sure, let me just find Survivalist again so I can see. Space. That's what I choose for you.
Alright then. And what about the other two? The no choose one.
Well, you said you're a criminal, right? That's a faction you align with?
Yeah.
So what about smuggling for 60?
Yes. And the other one would be black markets then.
Sure.
Wait, what about the Titan machines?
That could be potentially useful. Because the Titans are gone, but their machines are still around. And as a scavenger, you end up going into quarantine zones all the time.
True, true. So I guess I'll choose Titan machines then.
Alright. So that's all for scavenger. Now for interests. What did you say was your interest? Survivalist?
Survivalist.
This one's actually pretty simple. So guns 40, paramedic 30, that's medicine paramedic, survival 30, and a knowledge skill of your choice at 40. I just noticed you don't have any points in guns. By the way, while melee weapons do have their advantages, generally speaking, guns are way more lethal in Eclipse phase.
Generally speaking, I think both of us are fucked in that regard.
Better put points in the guns. Like, let me put to you this way, there are guns in this game that could easily rip your limbs off. Like, if you're shot point blank with them. And of course, there are mechanics for ripping limbs off.
I've also just read that if you have two things of, like, say I have two interface, like, from different things, I can put the secondary interface into something else. So, good to know.
Well, yeah, these are templates, but you can mix and match these points around. Just know that points from knowledge skills can only be put into other knowledge skills. You can't put them into active skills, period.
Yeah.
Wait, so what do we do now?
Are you done adding up all the skills? Let's see, what do we do now? Going back to the steps. We did total skills. Now is on page 45, languages. So, I believe the demographics of Europa are Russian, Indonesian, Japanese, and Spanish, Latin American-ish. It also lists what the common languages are in Eclipse phase.
I'll stick with what I picked.
What'd you pick?
Mandarin and English.
Not a bad combination. Keep in mind that most people have like a instant translation software on hand.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like in Cyberpunk, actually. I really like the way that game did subtitles for like other languages. So yeah, you have two languages by default, and if your cog and int are above a certain level, you get a third language and a fourth.
We're on page 45, yeah?
Page 45.
Okay.
Now, as where to put languages, I think you put them in. I think you put languages in the history page, correct? Yes. So, and I'm gonna switch over to the history page, and you can see languages.
Oh.
I think Mandarin would work pretty well, because I'm pretty sure it's a common language on Mars, which is very hypercorp if you really were someone dealing with corporate espionage.
Wait, who?
Piticus.
Me.
As for you, like I said, there are common languages on Europa. I'll have to, like, double check them for you. Yes,
Oh
so
boy.
most of Europa's culture comes from Russia, Japan, Peru, and Indonesia. In fact, quite a lot of food is heavily inspired by Japanese cuisine because everything is seafood.
Wait, what?
I was just saying, talking about European culture, and how common languages are Russian, Japanese. Does Peru speak Spanish or Portuguese? And Indonesia. Those were countries involved with this, heavily involved with Europa being settled. And I was also saying that a lot of European cuisine is inspired by Japanese cuisine because Japan has a
I'll
lot
go
of
for
seafood.
Japanese.
Huh?
I'll go for Japanese.
Cool. And for a second language?
Arabic.
Arabic? Cool.
Yes.
Arabic is also commonly spoken on Mars.
Yeah. Having two common languages from two different planets.
Actually, I'm pretty sure there's a common amount of Japanese in Mars as well. Mars, by the way, is currently like the largest transhuman settled area. Like it's unquestionably got the largest population. But anyways. So now we're done with that. Step 8 is flex. So, flex is sort of a narrative tool that everyone gets. You will find it in the morph page. You can see flex, but you also see insight, moxie, and vigor. Oh, are you not done writing down languages?
No.
Here.
Oh, I wrote it wrong. Wait, language has to be separated in commas?
Uh, you can add a new row by hitting the add button.
Oh, yeah. Got down.
Yeah, that's alright. I don't think you've ever used this before, have you?
No, I haven't.
So anyways. So back to morph. Piticus, do you want to go back to the morph page for me?
Sure.
I keep
Sorry,
calling
I
it...
was looking at I was looking at negative traits.
Hold your horses. We're handling this one thing at a time. So, we have these 4 pools here. The one we're focusing right now is called Flex, which is a narrative tool that's used to influence the game. So, everyone starts by default with 1 point in their ego. So I'll just add that for you too. And you can see there is a total at the bottom, and there's also current, which should be at max, which is 1.
Wondering where this was.
So let me give you an example of what Flex can do. Ena, do you want to roll a skill for me?
Want me to roll?
Yeah, any skill.
Should I just say any skill or?
Like, go to your skill page, click on the roll button there. So yeah, let's say athletics. Click on that. Click on the button. Okay, so that's 48, which is good. That's a success. However, let's say it was an 84. That's a failure. Do you understand why? Because it's...
I don't really understand why though.
your score is 60, so it has to be equal to or under that number.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
So if that were an 84, that would be a failure. However, you could spend a point of flex to flip the numbers and make it a 48, which it is by default. So let me roll another one for you. So this would be a failure, a 61. That's like just failing. You can't see that, can you?
I can see it.
Okay, never mind then. So yeah, if you were to spend a point of flex, that won't be a 61, that would be a 16. Do you get it?
I do.
And that's one thing flex can do. There's a list of things in the rules. I will cover them later. But just know that that's what it does. Vigor, Moxie, and Insight do similar things as well. They are things that affect the way your character does things. So for example, let's say that athletics roll, that takes somatics, right? So that would be something you would use vigor on instead of flex. However, you can also use a point of vigor to ignore a wound, which would otherwise deteriorate your stats. You can also spend a point to go twice in the same round. And similar stuff with Moxie and Vigor. But right now, you start with, by default, 1, but you can have more flex by spending CP, which we'll get into soon. So, let's start with step 9, Reputation. So I want you to both go back to the History tab. So you see the rep table?
Yeah.
Now, this has to do with the new economy, otherwise known as the reputation economy. Basically, clout, the clout economy. The more popular you are on a network, the more likely it is you can ask people for favors. So, you have a total of 100 points that you must distribute into these reputation networks. So, let me explain what they are from top to bottom. Circle A, or @rep, belongs to anarchists, which is why it's a circle A. They're common in the Outer Rim. They're not always everywhere, especially on Europa, because Europa is not an anarchy settlement. But it's used for autonomous people. C is for CivicNet, which is, that's sort of like LinkedIn, I would say. Sort of like LinkedIn or Facebook. It's just, it's used by a lot of civilians who are otherwise unimportant or part of the working culture. So if you want to get favors or to get someone to help you get your foot in the door or to get a new job, you would use C-Rep. F-Rep is for Fame, which is the network used by socialites. So like Twitter, except even more toxic.
Oh.
Like imagine Twitter, but it's all blue check marks.
Isn't that what Twitter is already?
I mean, if you go to the Explore tab, yes. But it's used by artists, I would assume publishers and producers, actors, streamers, internet personalities of all sorts. G-Rep. The G stands for Gonshi, and that is the one I think Ena might be interested in, because that's the criminal network, that's the deep web, that's Tor. Like, if you want to hire a hitman, you would use G-Rep. If you want someone to smuggle in A plasma rifle, it would probably be G-Rep. And now we move on to IREP, which is Firewall's own network called the Eye. If you want obscure information... Actually, it does a lot of the same things that Gonshi does, along with AREP, or ATREP. You know, you want someone...
I don't know where the reputations are.
They're on the left.
No, on the actual. I'm looking for them this entire time.
But anyways, yeah, the Eye is Firewall's own social network. It's got things like wiki pages on obscure strains of the Exurgent virus. And like I said, it's possible you can get illegal things from there too. Very possible, actually, because it's Firewall. You're doing illegal things regularly. Now, RREP is for research, which is the network used by academics and scholars. So if you want official documentation on something, you want notes about how quickly a virus that's been recorded can spread, you might want to go there. XREP is something you probably don't need to worry about right now. It's used by gatecrashers. However, at the moment, none of you are gatecrashers, which are people who go explore exoplanets, outside of our solar system. So anyways, you have 100 points to spend in each of these networks. Sorry, in total 100 points, and you must divide them into these networks. A common one is a 60-40 split. Or I think it's, what was another common one? Yeah, putting 50 in one and then 25 in two others. So, how do you want to distribute those reputation points?
No idea. I'm gonna be real. It was hard for me to understand like the full explanations of each rep, just because I don't really take things in if I'm hearing them. Hence why I was trying to find where they are listed in the
Alright.
book here.
Well, I would say putting some amount of points to IREP is always safe. You are a Firewall agent after all, and that is Firewall's network.
Oh, I found it. Okay, it's 37 or 39. Firewall. Oh, that would be IREP.
Yes. The I.
Which one was the criminal one?
G-Rep. Gonshi. Named after a region in China, which I assume is associated with criminals.
Alright, so I guess the rest is... pretty low.
Keep in mind that, you directly use these points as a rolling thing. So, for example, you would have a 40% chance of succeeding in a test with IREP, because you have 40 points in it. So again, choose this stuff carefully.
Oh god.
If you want my advice, put 60 in G-Rep and 40 in IREP.
Well, what about the other ones? Can they be left in 0?
Yes, they can. As for Piticus, you have... I see you put 30 in G-Rep.
Yep.
And that's how you're spending all your points?
That would be correct, sir. Reason for that, I think after looking at them, kind of makes sense. And
Alright.
yeah,
So, by the way, rep is something which
actually.
can rise and fall as you play. Like, as you complete more missions for Firewall, your I rep will go up for sure. And in all other cases, reputation can go up or down for various reasons.
Yeah, and I saw that there were like negative perks that make it stuff. Oh, hey, this one place, yeah, bitch, you can never have any reputation there higher than 0.
Yeah, getting blacklisted.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, are we on traits yet? Let's go back.
Nope.
Hmm? Back to the steps, because that was step 9. We've gotten through 9 steps so far. Alright, so let's try to handle CP, sure. Okay, so, now we're on step 10, which is customization. You both have 20 CP, which is creation points. Now, throughout the steps, you were able to spend points in different things to get flex. You can use it to get more reputation in specific networks, which, considering how most of you have a very low chance of succeeding in rep tests, might not be a bad idea. You can also spend them to increase your aptitudes and skills. And another thing you can use is use them on traits. So let's just quickly make a detour to traits, because that's kind of important. Okay, so if you go to page 72, you will find traits. I assume this will be the equivalent of feats in D&D. I don't know.
No, these would be traits as well in D&D. Some, not 5e, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because, like, in 5e, I'm pretty sure it'd just be feats. Like, 5e is the only edition I've played in years.
Yeah, all the editions have, well, not all, but most of them have feats as well, but traits are a different thing than feats in those editions as well. There are no negative feats in 5e. You can intentionally do something like having your character missing an arm, but it doesn't give you any bonuses.
Right, so, Ena, are
Negatives.
are you on page 72?
Yeah, I'm looking for the positive ones.
Yep. So there are things called morph traits and ego traits. So the ego is your mind, the morph is your body. Now for the mind, you use creation points. Morph points are a completely separate thing. So if you want, we could save that stuff for the end, right?
I mean, I can do it right now.
I know, but like, I'm also keep in mind that some of us are streaming here, and I'm imagining our audiences are going to be engaged.
I mean, it's session 0. This is just how it works.
Fair
Anyone
enough.
who plays
Then
D&D
again,
knows that it is
when Hololive EN did their session 0 was definitely more engaging.
When Hololive EN did their session 0 it was 0.5, was not session 0. Session 0 is held offline just on Arcadum stream. And that's how most of these session 0s work with Arcadum's D&D stuff. They hold a session 0 just on Arcadum's end, and then they do 0.5, which it approaches the rest of the audiences. That's how they already have art and everything set up for those.
No, they came up with their characters right away on stream.
Well, that's surprising. For all the other things, they've all done their session 0s on just Arcadum's end.
Anyways,
and then when it goes to the others, it's the 0.5.
Anyways, we can, if you guys want, skip creation points and traits for now and get into gear, which is the meat of all this.
Hey, can I be? Just gonna throw it out there since you know, it's a thing. Which rep was it for um the celebrities?
F for fame.
There we go. Blacklisted F rep. Level 1 because it's outside of my faction.
Gain more trait points. By the way, you can also have negative morph traits, which I'm pretty sure. Actually, I think there's a limit. You can only spend up to 6 points on positive and negative traits individually.
I believe it says that you can only have up to 6 negative traits that boost CP. Like, oh, you can only have bonuses 6 CP from negative traits. Is
Yeah.
what it says.
Yeah, a bonus of 6 CP and MP. And I know this because I once had a player who decided to take the max amount of penalty just so he could spend all of his morph points getting a Reaper, which is the best combat morph in the game. Like, it's literally, like, strictly outlawed in most habitats. Even anarchist habitats. You were saying something?
I'm just reading.
So we gonna skip the positive traits and the other.
We can. We can move into gear. So let me try and refine that section. Step 12, starting gear. So, starting out, you guys have, I believe, 6 morph points. Trying to find the exact.
I didn't see where it said how many more points we have, but we have 20 CP. I don't know what that is.
Creation points.
Or what to do with that, I should specify. I went too far.
The suggested default is 6 MP, so yes.
Okay, so we have 6 MP.
Now, aside from that, you also have a care package, which you all receive, a gift basket for firewall stuff. I'm gonna try and find that now. Gear packs. So your gear pack is, actually no, let's do morphs first. That might be more important. Yeah, I'm jumpy all over the place, I know, and I'm sorry.
Oh, that's cool. You can get aptitude points for CP.
Yes. You can also spend them to increase your skills, the amount of flex points you have, the, like, I think you can spend them for more languages, and for more reputation in networks. So, these are the points you use to customize and adjust your character after all the basic stuff has been done. So, let's start with page 54. That's where morphs start. So, what is your body? Now,
if you wish to buy more than one morph, you cannot purchase any negative traits for your morphs.
yes, keep that in mind. Now, on occasion, Firewall might provide you with a morph if the situation is specific. But for the most part, you only have one. Now, I already know which morph Ena is going to choose. She's going to be a Neo...
Obviously.
Yeah, you're going to choose an Octomorph or Neo Octopus. which is 3 MP. So, if you want, we would actually start writing that in the morph section. Would you mind if I guide you there myself?
Yes.
Alright, so, if you look at your morph of choice, you will find WT, wound threshold, durability, and DR, death rating. Make sure those numbers are copied in.
As well. God, you have no clue how badly I want to choose the ghost morph.
Let's see, where is a ghost? How much do they cost?
6.
Go for it.
Wait, a ghost or infomorph?
Ghost. It's a type of morph designed for infiltration. They have like chromatophores in their skin, like you actually. They also have, typically they have an adjusted attitude for patients as well. If you want to choose it, go right ahead. Remember, you can like get negative morph traits if you want more MP.
And they have skin flex.
Do they have skin flex, really?
They have skin flex.
Oh, that's common extras. So that's like suggesting... So that's not something you have.
Yeah, I mean, like, they can. This is what I'm more getting at.
You can, but you have to buy that with MP, which that means you definitely have to start spending negative traits. But you also have grip pads, which means that your palms are like a gecko, and you can stick onto, like, flat surfaces, even if they're upside down. You're like Spider-Man.
Okay, so morph 1. Ghost. Then we put in the movement rating. We would put Walker, like we would just filling in this information. So like Walker 4.
Yeah, so
20.
Walker, 4-20. Ena, yours is a bit different because you're an octopus. So your movement is, if I can find it.
No.
So you have
swim, thrust, and walker.
Thrust vector is because octopi have like a jet that they can shoot air out of, and that's a form of movement.
I'm coughing.
So the numbers, the left number is for walking speed. So the fastest you can move while shooting a gun without any penalties. However, if you're running, which is the second number, then you're gonna get penalties for things like shooting. These are numbers in meters, so 4 meters walking, 20 meters running. For Ena, it's 2 meters walking, 8 meters running. You are very slow on land.
Hey, dumb question. For wares, it just doesn't tell me if they're BioWare or hardware.
I can explain that to you as well. So let's see, where is it? By the way, some can be both.
So it says Biomods.
Biomods is
skin.
BioWare. Chameleon Skin will also be BioWare.
Okay. So it'll be like Biomods. And then skin. Cortical stack.
That is Cyberware. Grip pads are BioWare and mesh inserts are Cyberware.
Thank you. And then enhanced behavior is a positive trait?
It's a negative trait, actually, but it's already factored into the morph.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm asking because I gotta put that in here. It says enhanced behavior level 2, so that's a negative trait.
Yes, technically. Although it's intentionally designed into these for because they are designed for infiltration.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wait, 9, and then that's all I need there. Got that done. Okay. Okay.
I guess in terms of mechanics, we could say that if you have on your initiative turn, if you're going before someone, you have to make a will check to actually go and not wait. Because, your morph instinctually wants you to wait and, like, see what happens. So,
What page were the 72? Sorry.
going back to Ena, let's look at your BioWare.
It's on page 22, right?
Oh, so you have Walker as one movement speed, but you have two others, which you should put in.
Wait, 2 more?
Yes, swimming and thrust vector.
Oh, so I had to sum them both?
You don't have to.
Or do I...
So you would just separate them with a comma. Oh yeah, you also have polarized vision as an octopus. I'm surprised there's still 3 people watching this. And now drop to 1.
It happens. Okay, so it says here. Why can't I go back up to that? Whatever. Here, like, it's a specific emotion or behavior.
Are you looking at enhanced behavior?
Yes, I am. So this would be level 2. So I'm driven to engage in the specified behavior. Emotions are exaggerated. Holding back those emotions is holding back requires a will check. So looking at this, we would have to work out a specific emotion or behavior.
Well, yours
it
is
would be
already
behavior
chosen, right? It's patience.
Oh yeah, patience. So
like I said, if you get into combat and you have to roll for initiative and it's your turn, the enhanced behavior would be to pass your turn.
would that be patience though?
I would say so, yes. It's about not acting rashly and about trying to be collected first. It's about asking questions first before shooting.
If before initiative is rolled, you've already decided that this is the course of action that's being taken, why would that be the will check that happens there? I understand it's like it's on a case by case basis, but I'm just trying to wrap my head around it as the player, first time going into this.
I'll be real honest, I'm just trying to find whatever way I can to actually make this a tangible thing, because I have no other idea how to use this.
Okay. Trying to put it, like, just in a scenario that I've just off the top of my head here. Say we're in a area where it's either go in guns blazing or be patient and figure out a way to get in there without drawing all the attention to ourselves, or even better example. Okay, say this is like base D&D. There is a bar fight going on and you are just walking into the scenario. Patience in my mind in this regard would be like being forced to not go in there and choose sides right away or break it up. It would be to sit there and watch for the outcome before deciding
That's
on
true, but it also
which side
sounds...
you would.
It also sounds a lot like what I said about giving up your turn in initiative. You can act, but
Well,
you
yeah,
don't
but
want to.
it's not necessarily giving up your initiative. Say before initiative is rolled for anything, right? We before we go into the room, we have already scouted what's going to be in there via some way, or like have seen on cameras, or someone has told us that there are these people here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Patient part would have already been met. We have figured out what's going on. We have thought of a course of action of what we're going to do. Why would I give, if I got first pick in initiative, why would I, at this point, as we've already decided that this is what's going to happen, why would I give up, give that up?
I think there's a very good reason for someone to give that up if they want to, for the same reason that Black has the advantage in chess by going second. You can respond to someone else's actions first.
Yes, but if you have the drop on someone due to being patient further than that after you've already
How would you get the drop on someone
decided,
by being patient?
because we've already scouted out the area by being patient instead of going in guns blazing.
So here's the thing, what you're describing is exactly what you're supposed to be doing in Eclipse phase anyways. You're supposed to come up with a plan.
Exactly. And
so in that case, it basically means nothing.
Ghost, no, there is a difference. Someone who is not patient, who doesn't use their full mental capacity, say they have the enhanced behavior of like aggression or being super happy, right? We can actually just use super happy as an example here as well. Say this person's best friend just got shot in front of them. They can't fight against that behavior of happiness in order to mourn for their friend. They have to be happy about their friend's death. Right?
I'm going to just throw up the education here as the GM and as the arbiter of interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
It is my understanding, based on your argument, that the negative trait of patience is about hesitation when it's needed, and even when it's not needed. In other words, hesitating to act when you need to without much thought put into it, which is initiative. And that is my final verdict.
Okay.
That said, I won't make you roll it every time you have a turn. Like, I would say a roll like that might come up first turn of combat. And then afterwards, initiative is normal. How does that sound?
I mean, that would make sense. When you first said it, that's all I could think of in that, because that's what that would be if that's how you were ruling it.
All right.
If I was to be rolling every time my turn came around to see if I could fight through this will and progressively gain more negative stats
I think there is a stat like that. There's a negative trait. I think it's like a combat paralysis, where you literally have to make a will check every time it's your turn.
Yeah, that is combat paralysis, exactly as that. If
Yeah.
you fail the will check, you are incapable of
I
reacting.
once had someone play a character with combat paralysis, and they actually did really badass in combat. Like, there was just one encounter where they just kept getting lucky crits and they kept avoiding all the attacks. Anyways, let's go back to Ena, because we haven't seen her in a while. Are you putting in your wares?
You mean my gear?
Uh,
Or-
where? Like, you know, things that are part of your morph. Like bioware, cyberware, hardware. And yes,
And with
there is an important difference between all those. Basically, I don't think you have to worry about anything you have being hardware, possibly nanoware, possibly, but I don't think so. So you have 360-degree vision, and that I'm fairly certain is bioware.
so do I just add the
Yep, click the add button.
and add the 60 degree? Yeah.
Yes.
60 degrees side.
360. Like, you have full
Oh,
vision.
360. Oh shit. I'm actually be able to know where the enemy is very easily. When it gets behind me.
So next is biomods.
Biomods.
It's on the like stat block for your morph. So biomod, chameleon skin, cortical stack, gills, mesh inserts, and polarized vision.
I'll be right
Wait,
back.
on which page is that?
Page 61, which is for Neo Octopus. Now, cortical stack is cyberware. Same with mesh inserts, but everything else is bioware. I said cortical stack is cyberware.
Oh.
Sorry.
You got fries?
I don't have fries. My roommate has fries.
I want
So
fries.
Especially
Oh,
if they're
wait,
like...
I want pizza, really.
Yeah, he ignored the pizza I offered him earlier, so I gave him the fries.
Oh wow. I bet he likes pineapple pizza.
Excuse me, ma'am. That is good pizza.
Shut up, you
Excuse me,
merda.
young man. Excuse me, young man, but pineapple pizza is a sin, and it's heresy.
Agreed, you
should
cazzo
pay
de
for-
merda.
You should pay for that. I will start a
Then I
crusade
guess I am.
for liking pineapple pizza.
Then I guess I am a sinner.
Yes, you are, you cazzo de merda.
Hawaiian pizza is good.
No, it's
isn't.
not.
It's
Yes, it
fucking
is.
disgusting.
My Italian blood is shamed that Canadians came up with it.
Wait, is mesh inserts also not bioware?
Cyberware. By the way, none of you know what the mesh is, do you?
I do
Nope.
not know what the hell mesh is, but
It's-
it sounds something disturbing.
It's the internet.
Oh, never mind.
I mean, it's still disturbing. It's the internet. Polarized vision is
Not
actually
choose
bioware. uh, uh, octopi by default have polarized vision.
Oh shit.
Much in the same way that birds have ultraviolet vision. Alright, so now you have traits and notes about your morph. By the way, as a Neo Octopus, you have a beak attack, which deals a d10 damage. Oh, and you also have an ink sac. You can use ink to blind people in a 5-meter uniform area in water and microgravity. You can ink your enemies.
Reminds me of the little squid from Finding Nemo.
You guys made me ink!
Oh, by the way, that was a girl, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh god.
Now, as for Piticus, you've already filled out your morph traits, correct? Any notes to add?
Yeah. I don't think so.
Alright.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out how I can go about getting myself that that thing, but I don't know where those are listed in order to get the
You mean Skinflex?
positive trait.
You mean Skinflex?
Yeah.
It's not a trait, it's a wear. In fact, on the stat block for ghosts, it even shows you the page, and it even links it to it.
What page was that? 47?
321.
It's way off.
Yep. It's all the way in the gears section of the book, that's why.
Oh, we need gear points for these.
Gear points, they're interchangeable with morph points. In the same way that res points are interchangeable with creation points. It's just GP is the term for what you get in-game, not when you're creating characters. So, for example, Skinflex is moderate complexity, which means 2 MP. So you better start putting on negative traits. Specifically negative morph traits, not ego traits.
I will have to start another stream soon.
Like, in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Alright, you know, this is a good time to cap it off. Maybe when the others show up we can do gear as well. By the way, you all start with like a starting package that includes armor and a pistol. And other things like that,
Guys,
so...
I saw that in gear that I had like a small pistol.
But I would highly recommend you guys look at the weapons in this game. They're in the actions and combat section of the game, not gear for some reason. But just so you have some hilarious idea, for example, in Eclipse Phase, shotguns are fully automatic and they fire monofilament diamond flechettes. And they have a 100-round magazine by default.
See.
Like I said, those are things that can rip your limbs off at close range.
That's like a shotgun.
So for negative morph traits, those have to go into the morph negative traits.
Yes, morph, not ego traits. Because the difference is, a morph trait goes away when you switch bodies. Ego traits don't.
Yes.
Likewise, if you get addicted to drugs, which is not impossible in Eclipse Phase, there's a physical addiction, then there's a mental addiction. But anyways, I think we can safely cap this off decently for now. Do we have any idea of who our characters are yet before we go?
Don't know a name.
Wait, you didn't put a name?
I don't have a name.
Did you put a name?
I'm nameless. I'm nameless at this point.
Just put yourself
And I
as
did not.
the name.
Come on, you gotta be
Okay.
creative with that.
I know.
Exactly, gotta be creative.
Alright, fine. I'll find octopus names.
Taco.
The pussy names.
Well, I mean, what's a
How
Japanese name?
how is strike? How are striking looks a negative? I guess it's because it draws the
I
eye
know.
of everyone.
Yeah, actually being very black and or not being very plain with your morph is actually an advantage when you're trying to be covert.
Really something. But like, even if you like skin flex yourself ugly, this trait would make it so that everyone would still think you're good looking, wouldn't it?
I'll have to look into the details. It probably does give positive benefits, but also negative ones. But anyways, if we are gonna cap it off here, it's interesting. So, try to sum up your characters right now before we leave. Let's go with
I
Ena
already
first.
named mine.
Hmm?
I already named mine.
Not.
Not.
Okay. Let's think. My character summarized. Corporal Spy.
Corporate
Corporal
spy?
Corpo Spy. Corporation Spy.
Alright.
It's all I can think of with, like, a covert operative colonist interested in commanding.
Yeah, that sounds like someone designed to worm their way into the command chain of, like, a rival company. That sounds like corporate espionage to me. And Ena, you are, I guess, sort of a libertarian salvager living on the rim.
As I'm a scavenger octopus just living on my own.
Yep, with with points in survival, I would assume guns, and of course, demolitions. So, like Unabomber style.
Yes.
Okay, seriously though, is your character gonna be like a conspiracy nut, the kind of guy who like buries gold in his front yard?
Possibly. Why would I bury gold in my? Well,
I actually do have
I will have it hidden, of course.
I actually do have a relative who has a stash of gold buried in their yard. In fact, they live in a very remote area.
Actual gold?
Yes, and they are total anti-vaxxers, and they believe that the economic collapse is imminent, which is why they live out in the wilderness with their own small sheep farm and like beehives and everything.
Yeah, but how many pounds of gold though?
I don't know. All I know is what my parents told me.
Damn. So you guys are secretly rich. In a way. Depending on how many pounds of gold it is.
Oh, Wizard in chat says his parents are anti-vaxxers. I feel sorry for you, man. Yeah, I wasn't told the details probably because... Plus, this is a relative who the family's starting to distance itself away from more and more. Because they are very insufferable when they visit, because they always bring up the conspiracy shit.
So he's trying to sound crazy so people don't suspect anything from him.
Nope, it's just he acts... Well, I shouldn't say he. You said he. They act crazy because...
Dude, now we know it's a man.
Shut up. So anyways, they just act crazy because they are just straight up conspiracy nuts who think the economic collapse is imminent and that vaccines give you autism or some shit. Yeah, Wizard has it correct. He says they think everything is a false flag. And he's not wrong.
I remember a post of an active extra saying that they should make some kind of how do you say, a fake or a weaker version of a virus so our body can actually adapt to it. And then someone just said that's basically what a vaccine is.
No, I've seen that post and they're like, congratulations, you just invented vaccine.
Basically.
Question for you, Mr. Grimm. The toughness trait. It means that we can take more physical abuse than others of its type, and it increases durability. What does that mean when it says this will also increase wound threshold equal to durability divided by 5 and death rating durability times 1.5?
Okay, so durability has 2 derived stats, which the game thankfully already does the math for you, so you don't need to worry about that. Basically, wound threshold and death rating are both proportional to durability, which is what that math is. But like I said, you don't need to know that. So here's what it means, though. Actually, I think you do have to know the math, because the math is pre-calculated for morphs, but you're increasing it. So, durability is, on the whole, your HP. That's how much damage you could take before you fall unconscious, basically. Death rating is like the total amount of health you can lose before you're dead. Wound threshold is how much damage you can take from a single hit before it actually affects you. So, if you just keep getting hit with bug bites, you'll eventually pass out, but it won't bother you too much. However, if you take a shredder to the face, the shredder being the aforementioned automatic diamond shotgun, that thing will rip off an arm or a leg. Or it will create a grapefruit-sized hole in your body. That's the kind of thing where it starts to add penalties. So, if you get that much damage at once, it's called a wound. And you add a wound to it, and it gives you -10 to all of your rolls. Make sense now?
Yes.
So basically, the higher your durability, the higher your wound threshold. The higher your wound threshold, the more likely you are to take, I don't know, a grenade and shake it off. Or, like, just a burst from a fully automatic weapon and shake it off. Anyways, I think it's now 6 minutes past 10. Ena has a stream. If you want to go over to her channel's in the description below. Piticus, are you going to do anything else, or are you done?
I'm gonna do other stuff. I'm gonna continue with this and finish fleshing out my information that I can get here.
Are you gonna continue to stream that for my audience?
I could.
Well, if you do, Piticus's Twitch is also in the link. So yeah, those two are in the link, but I'm gonna stop streaming now. Thank you both for coming. Hopefully, Blood and Akira can get back to us. And hopefully we can have session 0 next week. Anyways, thank you all to everyone who stayed. Was this really that thrilling to you all? But
I mean, well, yeah, it's a pretty deep on detail, every single detail.
Piticus, I know that's you in the chat. Shut up.
Okay. Let me continue going.
But anyways, I'll actually no, I'm probably gonna go to bed soon, so I'm not gonna be on Discord to answer questions, but I'll be there to answer them tomorrow. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, if I have any questions, I'll just wait until the next session and get those answered.
No. Just message me. I'll get back to you tomorrow. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Anyways, yep. Thank you all for coming, and see you all later.